Hey guys, how's it going? Just gonna allow some people to get on. I'm gonna allow a couple more minutes for some people to get on this live recording. This is gonna be jam-packed with value, guys. As most of you know, Jonathan Belcher here, coming to you live. I'm about to reveal to you the 7 keys to success, right? These are the keys that I find to be the reason for my success, right? This is basically what I follow on a daily basis, every single day, to get the results that I want in my business and to also take things to a new level. So I'm just gonna allow about 3 minutes for some people to get on. So if you're tuning in, please leave your name and the state that you're tuning in from below in the comment section. But I'm gonna allow about 3 minutes for some people to get on because I know some people are at work and stuff like that. Some very, very awesome stuff I'm gonna be sharing with you in this video today. Please drop your name, the state that you're from, wherever you're tuning in from, guys. We're live. Alright, just looking over my notes really quick. If you're tuning in, please state your name, where you're from. Let us know. All that good stuff. Don't be afraid. We don't bite. Look at this. Just had some notes here. I just want to make sure that I got everything outlined how I wanted it to be. Alright guys, without any further ado, I'm actually going to get started right now. We have about a few people on, so it's enough for me to get started. I know some people are at work and stuff, so they'll watch the recording of this live video later, if anything. But let's talk about the 7 keys to success, right? Because I remember about 5 years ago, right? The first time I ever got started in online business, I didn't really know how to make sales. I didn't know how to market my business. All I knew was why I got started in the business, right? All I knew was what I wanted out of life and the changes that I wanted to see. But I didn't have the skill sets. I didn't have the tools. I didn't have the resources yet to do what I wanted to do. But I knew why I wanted to get started in business. And first and foremost, I want to say that the how is not as important as the why, right? Why you're in business has to be a very, very strong reason, right? The reason why you're in business is going to take you through so much, hardship, is going to get you over so much stuff. You're going to overcome so much stuff and you're going to reach success if you know exactly the reason why you're in business. And I always tell people all the time, I said, if your why doesn't make you cry, then it's not big enough. You got to have a big reason as to why you're in business and the reason as to why you're doing what you're doing. Because once you have a reason as to why you're doing what you're doing, other people feed off of that. Other people understand, and it's just very attractive when a person has a vision and a motive for why they're doing what they're doing. So that was me 4 to 5 years ago. No skill sets, just brand new, but I knew why I got started. So I want you to know that the how is not as important as the why, because as long as you know why you're in business and why you're doing what you're doing, you'll always figure out the how, right? That's the truth. You'll always figure out the how as long as you know why you're doing what you're doing. People who don't know why they're in business or what the reason is why they're taking the action they take, usually they quit because it's not a strong reason as to what they're in business for. But if you're in business for the right reasons, I'm telling you right now, the sky's the limit for you, right? But I'm going to go into 7 different keys that you must, these 7 keys you must take heed to if you want to be successful in anything that you do. I don't care if it's school. I don't care if it's entrepreneurship. I don't care if it's in the workplace, right? I don't care if it's sports. I don't care what we're talking about. These 7 keys are going to be the keys to success in anything that you do. And first and foremost, the first key, right, to success is self-education, right? Self-education, education period, right? Any type of profession, field that you look at, the highest paid people are always usually the most educated people in that field, right? You can look at anything. You can look at doctors, you can look at lawyers, you can look at business people, right? Whenever the more educated a person is, the more information they can apply that'll allow them to get the results that they want in their life. And that's what happened with me when I got in business and I started to have success. It was because first I went through a couple months of self-educating, learning the business and, learning how does this work? How does that work? But at the same time, I wasn't just learning. I was applying at the same time, even though I wasn't good yet, right? I was applying even though I wasn't perfect yet. I was applying even though I wasn't, in the business for a while yet. I was applying even though I was brand new. So a lot of people in business, we tend to learn, but we want to be perfect first before we start applying. But the only way you become better is through the actual action that you take, through application of the education that you get, right? So self-education is first and foremost. You got to be willing to self-educate, because if you're not willing to educate yourself, it's kind of the equivalent of like a person waking up one morning, right, and saying, I want to be a heart surgeon. They don't have no education, they have no schooling, they have no resources. But could you imagine them wanting to do heart surgery or wanting to be successful as a heart surgeon with no education on the topic, on the subject at all? That would be kind of weird, right? So self-educate is number one. Number two, right? Hustle. Take action, right? Nothing can actually be done without the actually doing something, right? The only way results come about into your life, the only way your income can increase is if you're taking action, right? And if you're being consistent, if you're hustling, right? Anything you look at, people who put in the work, they get the results, right? And that's in any profession. Hard work always comes as a prerequisite to success, right? Hard work always comes as a requirement for success. So hustle is number two. You got to be willing to grind. You got to be willing to apply, and you got to be willing to take action. Me, I focus on about, 2 to 4 hours a day. I work on my business, right? And if somebody has the question and stuff like that, other things may come up, but I'm on the go and I'm able to make money on the go. So number two is I'm hustling even when I'm chilling, right? And that's just the truth of it. Number three, the third key to success, if you want to be successful, you got to be willing to network, right? You got to be willing to network. Think about anybody who's highly successful. Think about anybody who's rich, who has a lot of money, who's financially free. Usually they have a network, right? Usually they don't have a job. If you notice, rich people, financially free people, they don't have a job. They have a network. Look at Oprah Winfrey, right? She has the Oprah Winfrey Network, right? Even people like Donald Trump has a network. He's the president of the United States. He has a network, right? You think about any other highly successful people, they have a network, and how a network is built is through first networking, right? When I first got started in business, I still do this, right? But it's very important to I was going to events, right? I was going to business events, company events, and I was networking with other entrepreneurs. I was networking with other people who had similar dreams and similar visions that I had. And that allowed me to feed off information off of them. And, we got to share ideas through networking. We got to work on different projects and make money together through the transfer of information and ideas. Because just to be honest with you, ideas are free, right? But ideas are the starting point to any type of success, to any type of change in your life. So number three, key to success is you got to be willing to network. You got to be willing to, just feed off of other people who are doing what you do, or other people who are exactly where you want to be, because all that's going to do is get you to your goal faster, by listening to people who already experienced something that you haven't experienced yet, or listening to people who are successful, right? So network, be willing to share ideas, be willing to talk to other people and observe it, and really get to understand, the importance of building on relationships, right? That's really what I'm talking about when I say network. Number four, key to success, very, very important, right? Is you got to be willing to invest. You got to be willing to invest. I know when I was going to college, right? Even though I didn't want to work a 9-to-5 job for my whole life, that was a form of me investing in myself, right? And college costs a lot of money, right? But we invest in ourselves for a return on investment later on, right? But self-education is very similar to investing, but I'm also talking about investing in the sense of when you make profits in your business, are you just spending the profits, or are you reinvesting it back into your business to make more money? What are you doing? Are you getting the money, making money in your business and just spending it? Or is it being reinvested to keep sales, to keep things going, to keep your business thriving? What are you doing? I always tell people, you want to have success, reinvest 20% of your income, of your earnings in your business. Reinvest 20% back into your business, right? Or if you don't have a business, be willing to invest. Or if you don't have training, be willing to invest, because through your investment in yourself, greater outcomes come, right? And a lot of times we want to change our lives, right? Excuse me. We want to travel the world. We want to experience freedom. But in order to have outside change, we have to have an inside change first, right? So the first step for me before I had success was I was willing to invest in myself. I was willing to learn new things. I was willing to get personally developed. I was willing to basically, allow myself success through education. So reinvest in yourself. That's very, very important. That's number 4, right? Number 5, very, very important key to success. We're on to number 5 now, right? I just went through 1 through 4 was 1 was self-educate, 2 was hustle, 3 was network, 4 is reinvest, and 5 is stand by your word, right? Very important key to success. And the reason why is because a person who just stands by their word, they're an action taker. They're usually a responsible person. They're usually reliable. So, and a lot of times when you're dealing with any type of business, 9 times out of 10, you're dealing with a lot of people, right? It's people in any business. I always tell people money doesn't come from a clock, right? Money comes from people. That's really where money comes from. It doesn't come from a clock. It doesn't come from some type of object. It literally just comes from people. And so you got to be willing to stand by your word, because as you stand by your word more and more people will respect you. More people will be willing to work with you. More people will see you as a person that can help them get from point A to point Z where they want to be in their life. So stand by your word. Very, very important in business, because, it's just something that it shows your character. It shows your responsibility, and that will allow you a lot of success. Even if I say I'm going to get something done, I'm going to get it done, right? Even if I say I'm going to take action, I'm going to take action. If I say I'm never going to give up, I'm never going to give up. Those are just things that I stand by no matter what. So stand by your word, very important for success. I'm actually looking out the window because I actually ordered some penne alla vodka from the pizzeria. So I don't know when this guy's going to come ringing on the bell. But that was number 5, stand by your word, right? Number 6, create opportunities for yourself. Notice I said create opportunities for yourself, right? Create opportunities for yourself, or take advantage of opportunities, which is very similar to creating opportunity for yourself. But today we're in the information age. We have Instagram, we have Snapchat, we have Twitter, we have Facebook. So, there's really no excuse as to, anybody could create something and start offering something to a targeted market of people. And that was one of the main things that I learned in business when I got started was if you want to have a lot of success, you got to know who your target audience is, who would be most interested in what your offer is, who would be most inclined to joining whatever offer it is, or to purchasing whatever your product is, or taking advantage of whatever your service is. You got to create that opportunity for yourself. You got to create that avenue where you're serving people, giving people value, people who need it, because that's what's going to create that brand. It's going to create that value that you have to share. And that's how you create the opportunity for yourself to just keep on building on your income, keep on building on your brand. And you literally get to a point where you become a walking business, right? And that's really what entrepreneurs inevitably become. When they just keep going and keep growing, they eventually become a walking business, to the point where their name just rings bells, right? Their name comes up and it's like, that's money. You know that something's getting done, because their brand is just so solidified over time. But the only way that can happen is if you create opportunities for yourself, through the use of the information age, the tools that we have access to today, the resources that we have access today. To be honest with you, it's easier now to have success than any other time in history. That's just the truth of it. As much as people may not think or realize it or open up their eyes to that truth, it's the truth. Because, 10, 20 years ago, we didn't have Facebook. We didn't have Snapchat. We didn't have, Twitter. We didn't have all of these tools we can use to reach people further than just our local area, right? We can reach people in other countries. We can reach people in other states. We can reach people, in different islands. We can reach, you name it, right? Because we have the internet, we have the information age. So really there's no excuse for why anybody can't create for themselves if they're serious about doing that. And last but not least, right? 7, right? Take chances. 7, the 7th key to success is take chances. You got to be willing to take risks. I see so many people going through life with the, what if mentality. They're afraid of what if, like, what's going to happen? Like, what don't kill you makes you stronger. Everything I've ever done in my life, and I took risks from, I learned from it, right? And I got better from it. So it never, even if I took a risk or took a chance and it didn't give me the return on investment that I wanted, I still learned something that would allow me success later on. I still got something out of it. So you got to be willing to take risk. And I tell people risk is opportunity misspelled, right? A lot of people hear the word risk and they get afraid, but the only way you could break through to newer levels in your life and newer levels is by taking risk. There is no possible way to reach a new level in your life by not taking risk. If you keep doing the same thing every day and you stay in your comfort zone, I guarantee you're going to get the same results. You're going to get keep getting the same lifestyle, keep getting the same check. And that's just what's going to happen, right? But when a person opens themselves up to be willing to take chances and take risks, now what happens is they start challenging themselves. They start stretching, right? They start doing things they wouldn't normally do to reach newer levels that they wouldn't have normally reached if they just were doing the same thing before. Because to be honest with you, the enemy of most people is the comfort zone, right? We get comfortable, right? And we get into a routine and we don't realize that there's growth. We don't realize that we have an unlimited ability to grow. I mean, just think about it. Human beings, we made a computer. We were the ones who made a computer, right? Our brains, somebody, thought of the idea of building on a object that does the stuff that it does, almost like it's a human brain itself. And that was a prime example of somebody taking risks, taking chances. So now we have computers today, right? Mark Zuckerberg, he took a risk, he took a chance. So now we have Facebook today. So that's just what it is, guys. So really quick, as a quick recap, I'm going to go through the 7 keys for success really quick. Number 1, self-educate, right? Got to be willing to educate yourself, get training, the knowledge you need to have success in your industry. Number 2, you got to be willing to hustle, right? You got to be willing to take action. Without no action, there's no change. Number 3, network. Networking is very, very important for your success, because if I can bounce off ideas with other successful people and people who are doing what I want to do, or mentors, if I can get information from them, it's going to allow me a lot more success much faster. Number 4 is reinvest in yourself and invest in yourself. So, once you're an entrepreneur, you never truly stop investing in yourself. And that's really the truth of it. You're just constantly investing in yourself, in some way, shape, or form every day. Number 5, stand by your word, right? Very, very important. People don't want to work with somebody who who's not serious about where they're going or not serious about helping them. People want to be a part of a movement. People want to be joined with somebody who's actually, taking action and headed somewhere and have a vision, so stand by your word. If you say you're going to never give up or you're going to take action, stand by your word, because that's the only thing that's going to allow you success. Number 6, create opportunities for yourself. There's so many different avenues now and different resources you can use to build on something from scratch, from a simple idea. You can increase your income. You could quit your job. So create opportunities for yourself. And number 7, last but not least, take chances, right? Don't be afraid to take risks, because the only way that I'm here today, that I'm able to make money online and be a full-time entrepreneur, is because I took risks, right? I took risks when I paid my investment to get started in the first business, right? I took risks when I paid my investments to get trainings and mentorship, right? I took risks when I got on my first video just like this, talking to the world. I took risks when everything was a risk. It was me taking chances all the way up until this point. So those are the 7 keys to success, guys. I will see you guys at the top of the world. This is John Belcher. Please comment in the comment section below if you got nuggets, if you got value from this video, from these 7 keys to success. If you learned something, if you got something that you feel like helped you with the breakthrough, please let me know in the comment section, guys. I will see you guys later. John Belcher. Peace.